Sussex's seam attack had another exceptional day as the early LV County Championship leaders took control of their latest contest with much fancied Warwickshire at Edgbaston, where Ed Joyce also struck a blistering 100 on an extraordinary day where 20 wickets fell. Chris Jordan was back in the Sussex side, and with just his 9th delivery of the summer, he found the edge of Varun Chopra's bat to have him held by Michael Yardy. Warwickshire, in the first game of their season, had won the toss and batted, but was soon 2 down with just 16 runs on the board as Jordan struck again, Ben Brown cleaning up behind the stumps. It certainly was a test for Jonathan Trott in his first proper game back, one he dealt with well early on. But Jordan produced a stunning opening spell, and yet more movement off the surface saw him remove Ian Bell for a duck, Joyce with a tumbling catch in the slips. Bell looked a little suspiciously at the pitch, and it took some concentration from Tim Ambrose to try to prevent the Sussex bowlers from ripping through a side for the 3rd innings in succession, having done so twice in the thrashing of Middlesex at Hove last week. Trott at least would have been delighted to have been given a couple of half volleys on his legs to get his innings moving in the right direction. These were shots that we've all come to associate with Trott over the last few years which, let's not forget, have been very good to him until recently. He did look a cut above the rest on this day until Joyce got into his stride later on with an exceptional knock. Trott and Ambrose appear to be steadying the ship with a stand of 44 in only 8 overs, but then the Warwickshire wheels fell off. John Lewis produced a fine delivery to have Ambrose held by Yardy for 20 at 64 for 4. And the rest were blown away. James Anyon got in on the act as Chris Wokes went too far across his stumps to be legged before for 3 to give the bowler his 300th first-class wicket. Steve McGoffin then got one through Ricky Clark's defence as he was out for 4, and he was 80 for 7 in the next over, the 24th, when Lewis, making a great start to his Sussex career, removed Keith Barker, Jordan with the well-judged catch. Trott had been out there for more than an hour and a half for his 37, and that's where his innings ended as he played on to McGoffin as he tried to run the ball down to 3rd man. It was a disastrous start to the campaign for the 2012 champions, who found themselves on 84 for 9 when Chris Wright edged McGoffin behind 3 balls later. And that left it to Lewis, who bagged his 9th wicket of the summer so far by having Oliver Hannon-Dolby caught at mid-on. With only 27.5 overs in one session, Warwickshire have been humbled for just 87, their lowest total this century, and a pumped-up Sussex were already well on top, although they too lost an early wicket to reply, Luke Wells turning a leg-side ball from Barker to Trott at short mid-wicket. There may be some who will be heading to the cricketing record books to find out when was the last time that one player eased to a 3-figure score on the same day that 20 wickets fell in 95 overs of exhilarating LV County Championship cricket. With so many batsmen having trouble getting their eyes set, Joyce's knock was akin to Superman or another superhero. It may be fair to say that the home attack didn't always bowl in the right areas at the talented Irishman, but at times he made batting look simple as he reeled off a whole host of boundaries, scoring at a run a ball as he, needless to say, dominated the scoring for his team, one which has made an extraordinary start. He was especially good off the back foot. As you can see, he dealt mostly in 4s, hitting 9 of them in a fantastic 50, which occupied only 52 deliveries. By the end of the 16th over of the reply, he had 58 runs to his name out of a score of 78 for 1, and Sussex were already almost ahead. From here, Sussex would have fancied batting their opposition completely out of this game, but they were set back in that wish when Yardy lost his leg stump to Wokes to depart for 9. With Joyce batting so beautifully, Sussex were soon ahead, and the left-hander showed no signs of slowing up. Sussex had done this same thing to Middlesex, bowling them out cheaply and then getting their own runs on the board quickly. At this point in proceedings, there was simply no stopping the visitors and their inspirational captain, who'd done everything right save win the toss. Joyce was already closing in on 3 figures when he lost Rory Hamilton-Brown at the other end with a score on 131. Hamilton-Brown was legged before to Hannon-Dolby for 24. But the runs just kept on coming from the joyful Joyce, Only 2 hours of batting, 1 session, and his 100 was nearly secured. It actually arrived in the final session off his 116th delivery. It was quite brilliant from the 35-year-old Dubliner, a player who's just got better with age. 16 fours have been caressed to all parts, mostly off the back foot, in what was the knock of the LV County Championship so far this summer. What made it so very good was what happened elsewhere on this stunning day. With the lead already standing at 86, Matt Machin was the 14th man to get out as he nicked an attempted leave off Wokes, easily the pick of the home attack, behind. From where they were, Warwickshire can take some heart from the way they finished this day. Jitan Patel had Ashar Zaidi LBW for 6 and 180 for 5. And that became 196 for 6 when Joyce's excellence was brought to an end on 117. For once he didn't time a shot off a short ball, this one from Clark, and that ball carried into the safe hands of Trott in the deep. With Joyce gone, it was Warwickshire who ended the day strongly. Brown went after a wide one from Barker and edged to Clark on 12. Anyon fended at a delivery from Clark to offer Chopra a good catch before the batsman had troubled the scorers. Jordan, who'd begun this day so well with the ball, drove at Barker and nicked off, having made 15. And last man Lewis clipped right, coming out of the shadows to Patel. From 173 for 3, Sussex had slipped themselves to be dismissed for 229. The way it's going, day 2 may be the last of this match, although Warwickshire will doubtless feel that they won't be blown away again. They will start their second innings on the second morning with a first innings deficit of 142. Who knows what to expect next from this extraordinary contest?